Good evening, everyone. I'm Ola Wojtkiewicz. I'm Executive Director at Creative Edinburgh. I'm a white, middle-aged woman with short hair. I'm wearing a grey jumper, and I think my background is very blurry. I'm just here for 1 or 2 minutes to share with you why we're here together tonight. Creative Edinburgh is a charity dedicated to uniting creative people in the city, helping everyone who identifies as a creative practitioner to collaborate, to find new opportunities, to upskill, to future-proof your careers. And just under 2 years ago, we had this idea with our lovely colleagues from Festivals Edinburgh that we should organize events together in order to build connections between the local creative community and our amazing festivals, which are based in Edinburgh. So this is how this series of making festivals happen started, and I'm really delighted that we had that idea because it's been brilliant and very well received. So excited to have you all here tonight. What we've done to date over the last 2 years, we have explored how festivals we have explored how the festivals are programmed. We considered how they approach working in sites responsive spaces. We also thought about delivering specially curated programs and how that affects freelancers working in the city. We also have put some effort into showcasing employment opportunities and projects for freelancers in the past, really with the concept being to demystify some of those recruitment practices at respective festivals and help people understand what kind of skills and competencies it's useful to have if you wish to work at festivals. And our series of events, I'm really delighted to announce tonight, is going to continue over the course of 2024. We just confirmed that with our partners at Festivals Edinburgh last week, which is great news. And the series is really designed to benefit early and mid-career professionals, freelancers, sole traders, self-employed people, startups, and anyone really who wishes to learn more about the festivals. So today we're continuing that exploration and continuing this really lovely gathering, and Emma Barr, who's our facilitator for the evening, is going to explain what's going to happen and what we're going to be learning about. I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us. It means a lot. I hope you have a really brilliant evening and that it's all very useful. And over to Emma now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ola, for contextualizing this brilliant event in the sort of wider series. And I think it's such a great chance to get a chance to learn and connect and be involved. So we have quite a busy evening, lots to get through. And our running order for this event consists of presentations from 4 of the festivals. So we'll start off with the Edinburgh International Children's Festival, followed by Edinburgh Fringe, then the Science Festival, and then Edinburgh International Festival, which will take us until about 6:30, at which point we will have 30 minutes to focus on our breakout rooms with Q&As. So you will be able to self-navigate between those breakout rooms. I'll give you more instruction when we get to that point. But some of you might have selected specific breakout rooms when you registered for this event, but so many people wanted to be involved in more than one that we thought we'd keep it open for you to move around in whatever way works best for you. So those breakout rooms are your chance to ask your direct questions. So that means if things come up along the way, feel free to make notes about them, but we're going to save those until that point instead of doing them throughout the presentations. And a reminder as well that this is being recorded, so you can reflect back on it later and you don't have to take copious notes if you don't want to, but feel free to do so as well. I always like to take notes, so whatever works best for you, but there will be a resource to return to. Okay, we're going to get started with our very first presentation, which is with Fee Fraser from Edinburgh International Children's Festival. So Fee is a production manager for Imaginate's Edinburgh International Children's Festival since 2018. Fee has production managed over 30 productions for Gridiron and production managed for Vanishing Point since 2009, managing all national and international tours. Fee has worked with many Scottish theatre and dance companies, from the National Theatre of Scotland to Tortoise in a Nutshell, and more recently with Punch Drunk in Richmond on their touring version of The Lost Lending Library. She is director of her own company, Fee Fraser Production Management, which aims to work with and mentor emerging production managers. Take it away, Fee, over to you.
Thank you, Emma. Hi, everyone. This is very nice to be here. Thank you very much for asking me to speak tonight. I am a middle-aged white woman with a grey jumper, short grey hair, and big silver hoops. A bit about the children. I'll start with a bit about the Children's Festival, give a bit of background. So the Edinburgh International Children's Festival has been going for just over 30 years. The festival started in tents in Inverleith Park and Leith Links, and now takes over anything between 10 and 12 venues in Edinburgh. The venues that we use for the festival are venues that are already pre-existing in Edinburgh. We use Traverse 1, Traverse 2, Festival Theatre Studio. Use a lot of venues that are existing, as well as pop-up venues, outdoor spaces, and bar spaces, if that's an option. The festival itself is produced by Imaginate. Imaginate have a year-round programme of work for children and young people that spans school projects, and also they have a very big creative development programme. I am a freelance production manager, but as Emma said, I have production managed for the festival since 2018, so I know the festival very well now. The festival is a yearly event, and it slots in amongst all the other festivals of Edinburgh at the end of May. So we run for 10 days, 9 or 10 days, from the 25th of May to the 2nd of June this coming year. And we always open the festival with a big free family encounters family day at the National Museum of Scotland, where we will present work, various types of work, that is either existing work or new commissions. We both commission work and also take on shows that people have made already. This is very low tech. There's a lot of walk around work that goes on there, and there's a lot of sort of installation that happens. The festival itself is a theatre, dance, and quite often circus festival. We work with companies from around the world, and I think this year we have, I think it's 10 international companies that arrive, and at any one time during the day we probably have at least 6 if not 7 different performances running every day for the festival. We also have, running alongside the main programme, we have a delegate programme which is talks and networking events, speed networking events, and discos and ceilidhs. And we also have an online programme which is various digital work that people can watch. From a production point of view, the festival for us is very busy and very fast. I start working on a new edition of a festival, I would say normally September at the latest for a May festival. However, I'm already talking with festival director and producers now for 2025 festival. So as much as I have not even got 24 fully in my head, I'm starting to think about 25, which is always a bit of a brain melt. So I'm a team of 1 for a while, and then I become a team of 1.5 with my technical manager, who joins me, and he works part-time as required for about 3 months, and then he comes on full time. And then I have an assistant production manager who also does 2 months, I think it is 2 or 3 months depending on budget, leading up to the festival. And then we go from being a team of 2.5 to being a team of approximately 25 people in about 48 hours, which is something that becomes quite tricky when you're used to just managing your own time, and then you have, you know, lots of other people's time to manage as well. From a production point of view, we employ various different roles. We employ stage managers, technical stage managers, technicians, and production assistants. And what we do is for every venue we're running, we put at least 1, if not 2 members of staff into the venue. And those members of staff are the festival representatives from a production point of view. Those members of staff are the people that, if there's a problem, or if a company thinks they should have something that they don't have, or even if they just want some advice, they are that person. They are the person that is there to either phone me, phone Andrew, the technical manager, speak to the venue, so that I'm not getting 3 or 4 phone calls about one thing. They then feed back to me. So they are our festival representatives in every venue. It's decided very much dependent on what the venue requires, but also what the shows require. Some shows come fully staffed and they just need one person to just be there. Other shows, I staff it with stage managers that do stage cues, technicians that operate shows. It just depends. And then our production assistants are the people who drive around in vans, do pickups, do drop-offs, do get-ins and do get-outs. So that's the sort of most flexible roles that we have. Throughout the year with Imaginate, there is other production roles, that come up. We do scratch events and we do work in progress events, as well as work in schools, and there's some other creative development pieces of work. So quite often I'll be looking for stage managers or technicians or designers to work alongside artists. And I would say that as much as that's more ad hoc to the festival, it's quite a good sort of starter for getting to know how the company works, getting to know how Imaginate works. As an organisation, there isn't a huge amount of full-time staff. I think that there is 12 staff who are on payroll, not all of whom are full-time. And then, as I said earlier, when it comes to festival, production gets bigger, as does front of house and press and marketing. I would say the thing with the Children's Festival that's exciting is it's fast-paced. I started by saying that a little while ago. We have to react very quickly. We have to be thinking on our feet quite a lot. Andy and I spend a lot of time planning pre-festival, so that actually a lot of the time during the running of the festival, it's problem solving and firefighting rather than actually dealing with what needs to be there. We've had problems with freight, and we've had problems with carnies. We've had to find sets in other people's stores with about 12.5 hours to spare for the show starting, which is why it's really nice to be Edinburgh based and have lots of other theatre colleagues in Edinburgh that I can call on. I've got some notes here. Let me have a look what I've not mentioned.
So I was just going to say, you've got about 1.5 minutes left.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, good. I've managed to cover 10 minutes quite well then.
Yeah.
So yes, I would say that it is the work that we put on at Children's Festival is very exciting. It is at the top end of international and European production work, and it's always very interesting. And if you can speak different languages, that's also a very nice thing to do. I wish I'd stayed at school and did languages a bit longer at school than I did, because that would have been helpful now. So yeah, but I'm very happy to talk about the festival, and I look forward to some questions in the breakout rooms later. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Fee. Yes, it would be great to get a chance to talk to you about these things a little bit further in about 40 minutes time, 30 minutes time, 40 minutes time. Correct myself. Thank you. Thank you so much. So we are now going to move on into another festival, the land of another festival. We're going to speak to Alan Gordon. Alan is the venues and registration manager in the artist services team at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe Society. His first summer working for the society was in 2009 as a press assistant, but he took on a full-time permanent role in 2017 after working on a variety of fixed-term roles. Alan now manages a seasonal team to supervise the creation of the printed program and ensure the successful listing of all registered fringe shows. Wow, no small job there. I'm going to hand over to you now, Alan.
Thank you, Emma. I love how you said no small job, and then for a second there I was really panicked because I lost my cursor between two screens. So we all still make mistakes. Hi everyone, it's really nice to be here. As Emma said, my name's Alan. I'm the venues and registration manager here at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe Society. I'm a white man in his mid-30s with short hair and a big, slightly gingery beard, and a black t-shirt and a big woolen cardigan. I have the task of trying to sum up all the possible opportunities that you could do working at the Edinburgh Fringe, which is quite sprawling. And also looking at the kind of arts administrative work was kind of my brief, which is also like lots of different opportunities. So I wanted to start by kind of giving a bit of a lowdown, a demystifying of how the Fringe works and all the different opportunities that can come up there. So the Fringe operates for 3.5 weeks, although it sometimes feels like longer. In August, this year we run from the 2nd to the 26th. And we're an open access festival, meaning that no one person programs it, although individual venues may program their venues. There's no one director that is deciding how big the Fringe will be. So lots of factors are always up in the air, which means we have to be quite proactive and light on our feet, and very adaptable. The organisation I work for, the Fringe Society, we are the charitable organisation that see ourselves kind of as the custodians of the Fringe at the moment, where we support the work to happen and we support artists to have as good a time as they can possibly have when they bring their shows to Edinburgh. And as that, we go from, there's a permanent team here of around 30, kind of goes up and down a little bit, but around 30, and then we grow to changes depending on how big the box office is in a sort of e-ticketing post-pandemic world, but we go up to over 100 members of staff during August. So there are lots of different opportunities of where you can land or work in the Fringe landscape. I tend to, in my role, one of the things we look after is the printed program and the registration process, which opens in January, ready for a June launch. So we tend to be one of the teams that gets biggest first. So we make our first hire in January. So they start with us, and then our team grows through March. And then as we get smaller again, other teams start to expand really through May, and then July, we have sort of big influxes to be as prepared for August as we possibly can. There's lots of different areas around the Fringe where you can work. We have the department I work for, which is artist services. So we're there to engage a lot with artists that are coming, help them sort of navigate the Fringe and work out if it's possible for them to bring a show, support them in finding a venue, and all the kind of information they might need. As well as then operationally helping them get their show listed and up on sale, talk to them through their marketing, whether or not they can get press in. We also have a marketing team who are in charge of marketing the festival as a whole to the world, who then they get bigger in terms of their media team really grows as we accredit around 1,000 members of media from all over the world. and then helping them with things like press ticketing or getting contacts for different shows, or helping them narrow down what they might be looking for in terms of how we theme the Fringe programme. So they get bigger. We also have our arts industry team who help deal with, again, around 1,300 delegates from all across the world who may be coming to Edinburgh as a bit of a marketplace to look for work, to meet artists, to find people they want to network and work with in the future. So that team again grows to around 8 people. So like every team kind of tends to expand. They also run the same accreditation and ticketing that our media team does. Our box office team grows exponentially to deal with all of the ticketing inquiries, but also we have a huge customer services team to help people navigate the Fringe and also troubleshoot any problems that may arise as part of that. We also have a sort of operational admin team who join our team to help make things work as we expand. We have our street events team, who are people out on the street, helping run the street events and structure that, and help people who are audiences who are out there experiencing the Fringe that way. So that's a very quick sort of rundown of all the sort of places you can land at the Fringe. And why I've sort of said that, and I kind of wanted to keep it as, in my introduction, I talked about I started at the Fringe as a press assistant after applying for a job that even now I would not be qualified to do. So I was a little foolhardy, but they liked my welcome letter. So they invited me to kind of use those transferable skills in a press assistant role. And then within that, I've very much moved around. There's a running joke here. I think I'm sort of ticking off every department as having worked there at some point. And I guess that's one of the joys, I think, of like the Fringe and festivals generally. And that if you develop those administrative skills, but also like a knowledge of Edinburgh and its festival scene, the venues, what happens to the city in August, then suddenly as a candidate, you're someone who's very impressive to us. Someone who can show knowledge of what happens. One of the biggest sort of learnings we have to do with our teams at the beginning is trying to get their head around just how big the Fringe is, what the festival scene looks like in August, and help them navigate that. So anyone who has sort of proven skills of putting on work, if you can produce a show at the Fringe, or really at any point, then you probably have those skills that we want. A lot of the time, the permanent team has the sort of speciality knowledge that we need. And then as we expand, we really need people who are great arts administrators with really good knowledge of Excel and Airtables, but then also knowledge of the kind of work that's out there, because we cross so many different genres of work. So I guess that's why I just really wanted to make the case that there's lots of different entry points into this kind of work. So someone who's really experienced in box office, suddenly that knowledge is really useful in things like the media team or the arts industry team. So I just wanted to really stress that transferable skills are a huge thing here, and knowledge of the arts world combined with that really helps us. We've got a whole team that's behind recruitment at edfringe.com, just if you ever want to put down, or if you've got any sort of general requests about when jobs may come up, they'll be able to point you in the right direction. But we also put them up in Creative Scotland and share them as widely as possible, just to get as diverse and wide range of people applying as possible. I think that's coming up for 6, and I shouldn't start talking more because then I won't stop.
Thank you, Alan. That was great. You'll leave us hanging there so we get a chance to ask questions later. That's brilliant. We are going to move on from Fringe world. I don't know, I've decided they're worlds, not festivals, over into the international festival. So we have Sarah Cockburn with us. Sarah is head of brand and campaigns as part of the audiences team at Edinburgh International Festival. On the brand side of things, she works with the senior graphic designer and copywriter to ensure that the International Festival has a distinctive look, feel, and tone of voice in all of their public-facing material. While with the campaign side of the team, she works on a marketing activity to sell EIF events, as well as promote their year-round work. Go over to you, Sarah.
Thanks very much. So hello, nice to see you all. I'm Sarah Coburn, the head of brand and campaigns at Edinburgh International Festival. I am a 40-year-old woman with and my lights have just gone off, with a blonde bob, a green top, and quite a faint black eye from where my 5-year-old daughter accidentally head-butted me the other day. So don't be concerned about that. I think Zoe is going to share some of my slides. Is that right? So if you can let me know when they're up.
Sorry, I'm having, obviously my second screen just froze the second I needed it. I'm so sorry.
No, don't worry at all. I should also say that I think there's going to be a fire alarm here very, very soon. So don't be alarmed, haha, if I turn off my mic for a second. But that might happen while Zoe's getting the slides up. Here they come. Great. So as I say, I work for Edinburgh International Festival, and I hope Alan won't mind me saying we're the original festival. We're the festival that started it all back in 1947, and we are the world's leading multi-genre arts festival. So that's opera, theatre, music, both classical and contemporary, and dance, as well as being thought leaders who want to exchange ideas and encourage debate from all the international parties that we invite to come to us. Unlike the Fringe, which is an open access festival, as Alan was saying about, we are a curated festival. So people are invited to be a part of our festival. It's a world-class, hand-picked group of artists from around the globe that are carefully curated into a programme. We happen for almost the same 3.5 weeks as the Fringe do. So this year will be the 2nd of August to the 25th of August. And we use most of the a lot of the established performing arts venues in the city. So the Festival Theatre, the Usher Hall, the Lyceum, the King's, when it's kind of back up and running. But we also sometimes use very unconventional spaces or outdoor spaces. So that might be something like Charlotte Square or the Princes Street Gardens. We've done things in Tynecastle Stadium, Murrayfield Stadium, and those places too. And just to be clear, that our engagement extends kind of well beyond those 3.5 weeks in August. So our discovery and participation strand have year-round work in youth, community and industry connections. So next slide, please, Zoe. You can maybe hear the alarm slightly there. Hopefully it's not too distracting. So here are just some numbers so you can get an idea of the kind of scope and scale. So this was last year's festival. We had 412 performances over 3 weeks in August. We hired 16 venues across the city. That majority of our audience is from Scotland, 69%, with 46 being Edinburgh based, but also a significant international contingent. We gave away more than 11,000 free tickets, and 21,000 tickets were discounted, given to community groups, young people. So even though we try and put on an absolutely premium experience, and obviously some of the prices at the top end really reflect that, we're also all about accessibility and making sure that everyone knows they're invited to the Edinburgh International Festival. We hosted over 2,500 artists from more than 50 nationalities, but we also have a real focus on Scottish artists. So last year, I think it was about 300 Scottish artists who performed in the festival. And as I say, our discovery and participation team work in 17 council wards across the city. So again, it's not just that central Edinburgh, our work reaches out further. Over 16,000 engagements with children's families and communities. And much like the structure that the other festivals have talked about, we have 60 permanent staff who are with us year round, and that swells to about 150 temporary staff employed sort of just before the festival and throughout, in order that we can deliver it. Next slide, please. So I come from the audiences team, which hopefully is fairly self-explanatory at that kind of top level, but breaks down into 4 distinct areas. First of all, my area, branding campaigns. So, you know, that brand bit is all about the look, the feel, the tone of voice, the visual identity that makes our festival distinctive and stand out in the crowd in a very busy August marketplace. That could be through venue dressing, through the way we tell our stories and various kind of fame building devices that we might use. And then the campaigns part of the team is all about marketing activity that's to promote specific events in the festival, or indeed wider areas of our work. And we work closely with communications and digital. So the comms part of that is public relations to try and gain positive coverage for our events and activities across print, digital and broadcast media. And then the digital team focus on building our profile, our sales, our brand affinity and customer loyalty all online. So obviously there's quite a lot of crossover between the campaigns department and the digital department there. Then we have our audience experience and ticketing team, and that's about ensuring that every bit of that customer journey, from first calling up the box office to arriving at the venue to the post-show email that you get, is a really excellent positive experience. And a huge part of that is the ticketing bit, of course. So that's the seamless facilitation of ticket purchasing with great customer service, and also to try and maximise our income too. And then I've already mentioned the discovery and participation element of the audiences team. So they have sort of three pathways or distinct focuses. One is about opening up a world of creativity to young people. The other is about embedding the performing arts in our communities, not just in Edinburgh, but across Scotland, and also about talent development for that next generation of artists. So you'll see quite a lot of mentorship programs. We have something called the Young Musicians Pass to try and inspire young people who maybe play and sing to come and see shows, to have conversations with artists. So yeah, that broadly is the audiences team. Next slide, please, Zoe. And talking very specifically about the opportunities in 2024 to work within the audiences team, it's probably a bit small to read necessarily, but yeah, all the yellow posts are permanent posts and all the purple posts are the ones which we need for this year. So on the next slide, I'll just talk you through each of those possible opportunities. So within my team, I'd love, if you're interested, some of you to come and work with us. We've got a range of posts. So one is campaigns assistant, which is very much an entry-level job. It'll have loads of variety. You'll be working over loads of different shows and campaigns and basically learning about all aspects of marketing, a real kind of learn on the job kind of post. A publications officer post, which is really about the kind of project management of producing event programs and free sheets, and working alongside our in-house copywriter and designer on that. And then there's a creative art worker post, which is a sort of specialist post around graphic design, being able to support our senior graphic designer with typesetting, artworking and producing all that collateral that we need during the festival. Plenty of posts in the communications and digital part of the team. So they're looking for a content creator this year, someone who has a really solid, great experience of producing really enticing social media content to a very high standard. They'll work closely with another temporary post, the digital content officer, who'll be about deploying all that content across social media in a really strategic way to create profile, drive engagement and e-commerce, selling tickets. And then there are two assistant levels too. So one with a digital focus. So again, that's a very entry-level job. You'll be working on content creation, social media, the website, e-marketing, and then the media assistant who'll be working with the comms team, supporting all their work, writing press releases, organising photo calls, organising press tickets, responding to journalist inquiries. So again, a really good opportunity to get an excellent grounding in that area of work if you're interested in it. And finally, in the audience experience and ticketing team, the front of house manager would be someone who would liaise with all the front of house teams at the various venues that we have and ensure that there's a real cohesive experience, really good customer experience at all those venues. We really want to create a distinctive Edinburgh International Festival audience experience so people know that they can expect a certain standard whenever they go to any of our shows. So next slide, please. So just to say, all those roles are really soon to be advertised. So keep checking our website is the main thing. We also try and advertise as much as we can across Creative Scotland, some of them in more specialist sites like the Arts Marketing Association, various places to try and make it as accessible to all and get as diverse a workforce as we can. Most of those posts start sort of as soon as, really, so in the spring, and then run all the way until sort of mid to end September, because we're really keen our temporary staff go through that post-festival evaluation stage with us, so we can talk to them about their experiences, improve things, and get their feedback. I would say, in the same way that I guess Alan and Fee have both described, that festivals are really super fun to work at, but they're also quite intense experiences. So you really have to hit the ground running. You've got a chance to learn an awful lot in a concentrated period of time, but that can require quite a lot of flexibility and commitment and resilience, I guess. But on the plus side, it's really fun. It's very sociable. There's probably lots of perks as well, not least seeing some of this amazing work on stage, being at artist parties, getting to kind of drink in that unique festival atmosphere. And you'll get to gain experience working for a world-class festival in the most exciting city in the world in August, make real connections across the kind of festival network. I'd say that occasionally temporary jobs can turn into permanent jobs, or it may be that if you've really shone in that temporary role, you may have more chance of getting the same or a different role next year if they come up again, or it may put you in an incredibly good position to apply for those permanent roles. So I think there's an awful lot to be gained from a temporary role at the International Festival. And I think that more or less brings me to the end. The last slide is just to say, keep in touch there, my details, and then more generically, there's the Edinburgh International Festival website, social handles, and hashtag there. And as I say, the jobs will be coming up fairly soon, so keep your eyes peeled. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Sarah. You'll be delighted to know that we couldn't, or I couldn't at least, hear the alarm behind you.
Okay,
so
good.
Obviously that soundproof booth works quite well. Brilliant. We will move on to our final presentation of the evening. So our last speaker tonight is Matt Hall. Matt is the staff and project manager at Edinburgh Science, where he manages the temporary customer-facing staff for the annual Science Festival during Easter, as well as many other projects throughout the year. He started working for Edinburgh Science Festival 10 years ago as a freelance science communicator, and has since worked in many different temporary roles, taking up his current permanent position in January last year. Happy birthday to your role, Matt. I'll hand over to you.
Thank you. As Emma said there, my name's Matt, and I'm a white man in his 30s with short brown hair. I'm wearing a checked shirt and black-rimmed glasses. I'm currently in the Science Festival office. Some of you may be able to see there is a dinosaur behind me, just to prove that we do science here. So my role is kind of split into two different aspects. I project manage several different things throughout the year, including one of our main venues at the festival. But the one that really here to talk about today is that I recruit and manage all of the customer-facing roles that our festival has, and also that we have throughout the year. We have lots of different things throughout the year that we require staff for. So Edinburgh Science is an educational charity that delivers the Edinburgh Science Festival as well as other things. So we have a school touring program called Generation Science that's just about to go out on the road on Monday. We also have our STEM Careers event that takes place at the end of the year at the National Museum called Careers Hive. And we also have lots of kind of one-off events as well throughout the year. So our festival takes place every year over Easter, and this year we'll go from the 30th of March, so Saturday the 30th of March, to Sunday the 14th of April. And the theme for our festival this year is Shaping the Future. And there'll be lots going on across the city. We go to lots of different venues and work with lots of different venues as partner venues, bringing different events, interactive exhibitions, workshops, talks, lots of different things. Our program will be launching 2 weeks tomorrow. So do remember to check that out to see what's going on. The main venues, though, that we engage staff at are the City Arts Centre and the National Museum of Scotland. And we kind of look at two main groups of staff that we look to hire. So our science communicators and our front of house staff. And in total, we will have about 120 temporary contracts, about 3 weeks most people work with us for. But we also have some other roles within production, box office, marketing that last between kind of 2 weeks and 4 months. We're currently in our recruitment process. We started in December and it is in full swing. So if you want to have a bit more job description about that, do check out our website. But let me start by talking about our science communicator roles, the ones that deliver those workshops and exhibitions to the children. So let's have a look at the first slide there. So here are some of those science communicators in action. So you can see in the top there, we're looking at a brain there. And we are, oh, sorry, that's a heart, my mistake. We do brains, but not there. That's a heart. We're also doing some stuff about vets. We're also looking inside bodies and we're doing some stuff with air tunnels there. Next slide, please. And here we are doing one of our most popular ones. You can see down on the bottom, there is some slime being made. There is some soldering taking place. There's lots going on, lots of different things. And all of these are delivered by the science communicators. So what we're looking for in a science communicator is someone that is passionate about working with children, someone that loves communicating with the public, someone that enjoys working in this busy festival environment. And it doesn't matter if you don't have a science background. We have people from all sorts of backgrounds come and join us as science communicators. So some people do have a science background. Some people have a performance background, a teaching background, workshop facilitation. Some people are just confident communicators and we employ them to deliver these workshops. So not having a science background is not a barrier to becoming a science communicator. We provide training to all of our staff. So all of our science communicators will receive a day's training called Communicating with Confidence. And in that training, it's delivered by our creative team and it's all about communication skills. So it's not about the workshop that they're going to deliver, it's just about those skills. And this is a valuable workshop that everyone gets to go through. We also will fully train our staff on the workshop that they're working on, and that can take place between 1 to 2 days to make sure that all of the team is fully equipped with that information and knowledge to be able to deliver these exciting, fun workshops to the children aged from about 5 to 12 years old. So the skills really that we're looking for are someone that has good communication skills, someone that's a quick learner, someone that enjoys working with children, enjoys working in a team, and just has that confidence to kind of get up and give it a go and work with the public. It's a lot of fun, and our science communicators come back year after year, building up that kind of knowledge, that expertise. It really is a unique experience that people love to come back and do more and more. A lot of our more kind of temporary senior roles, so kind of the team leaders, assistant staff managers, they are people that have come from a science background in previous festivals. As kind of Emma said at the beginning, I started working in 2014 as a science communicator, and I do not have a science background. My background is acting. I studied acting at QMU, but over the last 10 years, I've done many different roles within the company before taking on this permanent role last year. So don't be put off by the word science in science communicator. It is really open to lots of different people. The other big role that we have is our front of house team, and they work at the City Arts Centre, so alongside these workshops. In fact, if we could go 2 slides forward, that would be great. So you can see some of them there helping. So they work at the City Arts Centre, and that might be helping the children get their gloves on before they go and make slime, or getting an apron on before they dig up a dinosaur, all of these type of things. We also employ front of house staff to do the more traditional front of house roles. So working in our auditorium, as you can see on the bottom, making sure that the public got their tickets, that they're happy, answering questions, that type of thing. So So the front of house is a really diverse role, and those people work at the National Museum of Scotland, City Arts Centre, as well as lots of our one-off events across multiple venues across Edinburgh. And for that role, we're really looking for people that really enjoy that challenge of working in a new environment, a fast-paced festival environment, working with family audiences and adult audiences, and just have an interest in learning something new. Now, as I kind of mentioned at the beginning, our festival isn't the only opportunity throughout the year. We have a pool of science communicators that we use to go and deliver kind of one-off small events in the community. In the lead up to the festival this year, we'll be doing 17 community events, all delivered by that pool. We also do other events throughout the UK and worldwide. For many years, we provided the staff for the Abu Dhabi Science Festival, so we had lots of staff going over and delivering content out there. So there's lots of opportunities. And if that is something that would interest you, then let's go to the last slide, where you can see our website. So do check that out. That's got all of the information on how you can apply. At the moment, we have got box office jobs, front of house jobs, and science communicator jobs live, and that will give you all of the information on there, including the job description and the process for how to apply for those. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Matt. Oh, I got a prompt from Zoom to unmute myself, but I think I'm already unmuted. Thank you so much for that, Matt. I now have a strong craving to make some slime. I don't know what it is about slime, but it's such an addictive substance. So it sounds like a lot of great opportunities there. We are just 2 minutes behind our schedule, which I think is actually very excellent when we had so many things to say from so many festivals. We're going to take a quick comfort break now. Our Q&As will start back at 6:30. So I invite you to turn your cameras off, step away from your computers, stroke your cats, do whatever you got to do. But let's be back here at 6:30 so that I can give you instructions for the next steps. Thanks, everyone. Fab, that looks like some of us are back. Thank you, everyone, for a lovely evening. It was brilliant to have our conversations and our questions and get to chat to some of you in person. Next steps, the Creative Edinburgh team will send this recording out to you in the next couple of weeks, as well as some upcoming events with them and general contact details for Festivals Edinburgh. There's a feedback form, or there will be imminently a feedback form popped into the chat. We can ask you to fill that out. It's very useful for people running events to know what people have thought, to give you a really honest feedback, so that we can make this event even better and stronger in future. Thank you to our presenters, Fee, Alan, Sarah, and Matt, all the facilitators, and our brilliant interpreters, Lucy and Jenny. And thanks to all of you for coming along and engaging with this project. It wouldn't happen without people coming. So really great to chat to you all. I hope you have a lovely evening and you don't get blown away in the next couple of days. Have a really good night. Thanks, everyone.